Don't need auto-tune to get vocal control. Throw out all my wishes into the unknown. Hope it boomerang and make me sorta talented. Don't do shining armor, got no plans of being valiant. EOY, patent this, stopped it with most topics cause I...
What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Z5, and on today's Spice Cabinet episode, we're going to do a review of our favorite new cleaver, Ran. It's going to be my personal thoughts on the unit, what I think about him, how I've been using him, and etc. etc. So here's my current build of him. Here's the artifact I'm using. I think Ran is a great addition to Cleave. If you are cleaving, I know a lot of people thought Cleave was dead with the addition of AOL and Bellion, but with Ran here, I think it makes Cleave viable, a little bit more viable than it was previously. The only stipulation I have is that, like, if you're picking Ran, you're either going to be pre-banning Rem or Violet, and I would say those two are a priority ban just due to how much they affect him. How I've been picking them is that I will pick AOL, Politis, Ran, Pavel, and then a third DPS, either RB or my BBK. BBK has been winning me more games than RB, so typically it's my BBK over my RB, but RB has his use into certain things. Like if they take my Pavel, then I take RB and BBK. You know what I mean? It just depends on the situation. I am currently in Champion, RTA, and I've seen him been used a variety of different ways in RTA in particular. I've seen the DPS build, which is what I currently have. I've seen the high effectiveness build where you don't use any souls, and that's a better. I think the high effectiveness build is the best build, just because if they pick Bellion then doesn't become a force ban, right? Bellion is not the force ban at that point. You can still cleave through their team without having souls, and then you can ban more important targets, typically a Violet or maybe even RB, just depending on what your team comp is. So the reason I picked the team that I picked for Ran is that it really supports everything he does, plus it also helps lessen the counters. AOL, Politis, that's my book holders. AOL, obviously, we all know what AOL does. Cleanses 1 debuff and gives skill nullifier to the entire team. Well, if I'm using Ran and they steal my Politis, I have AOL on my team, right? Because typically when I have first pick and they don't pre-ban AOL, I take AOL first pick, and they typically take Politis, that first pick, for themselves. And if that happens, so I have Ran and AOL, and when Ran uses S2 and triggers that non-attack skill, Politis then triggers her S2, which then triggers AOL's passive, which gives the entire team skill nullifier, and then plus on top of that, they will have immunity from Ran. So I am extremely happy that that interaction works the way it does. And that's kind of been my key to success with Cleave right now, is that he's able to open up so many opportunities for my team to come through and clean up. With Symbol Unity, it helps against Violets, helps against any green unit, obviously, especially when it comes down to the wire after you've cleaved the entire team and Violet's still standing. That extra little DPS that gets through and crits helps a lot when finishing off that Violet. So I think Symbol Unity is a solid artifact for him. If you don't have Symbol Unity, or if you already have Symbol Unity on someone else, you can also use a few other artifacts to kind of like do the same thing. Manica of Control is a good one if you can get yours plus 15. I think, let me see what plus 15 looks like. So plus 15 probably looks like 15% hit chance or something like that. If you can get like plus 15 mana control, that's great. If you have a plus 30, it's even better. It only increases hit chance and crit chance on a single attack, though. So only his S1 would get that hit chance. So if you don't already have a maxed, what is it? The key? What is it? Oath Key? If you don't already have a max Oath Key on deck, right? That's going to be your next best thing. If you're not using Symbol on someone else, Oath Key is probably your second best. And then if you don't have Oath Key, or you don't have an extra Oath Key in case you're using it on another unit, then Mana Control is probably your next best thing. But I would say Mana Control works better on Selene. Also, that has been a very strong counter into Ran, Selene. And just because he gives himself attack buff, and that pushes his attack higher than typically anyone else on your team, you can also put Mana Control on her instead of her artifact. The reason I say put it on her is because all her moves are single target attacks, and you don't need to worry so much about, like, let's say they bring out Caesarea or something like that into the draft with Ran. You don't need to worry about missing that Caesarea. You can also clap the Caesarea on top of dealing with the Ran. So, like, Mana Control is a very strong artifact on Selene. Just something to throw out there. But back to Ran, the fact that he's one of the fastest units in the game really helps with speed contesting. I don't really worry about speed contesting anymore because I put most of my fastest DPS gear on him. He's at 290 speed. I can obviously hit faster speeds if I really wanted to. So let's see, what would be my absolute fastest right now. So if we take this and we put this there, that there, I can hit 306 speed. Obviously his stats are trash, but I could still do it, right? I could hit a faster speed even though it's not much. It's something, but the stats, I don't think that's worth it. If you can get about 290, 280, if you have 280 speed, I would definitely recommend bringing a speed imprint. If you can hit 290, you typically don't need to worry about that. Typically, you're faster than Kise's, you're faster than Pavel's. Unless they have really, really good gear, then you're kind of screwed. Cerises, if they're speed contesting you with a Cerise or Acid, those are the ones you ban. If they bring them both, I would ban Acid over Cerise. Just because Cerise can't necessarily do anything except either stun one unit or give everyone restrict or speed down, which if you have AOL, she fixes a lot of that with her cleansing of one debuff. So you'll only have one debuff, right? And that helps a lot. So AOL Rand's a very strong combo. Politis Rand's a very strong combo in case they take AOL. Because you S3. If they take AOL and you can get Politis, your next mage to pick on your draft should be CDOM. Just because Rand critting everyone pushes CDOM basically to the front, and you can S3 and push the rest of your team up to cleave them before they can do anything to you. So, like, there's a lot of options that Rand opens the door for. He doesn't necessarily even need to be put in a cleave team. You can still use him as a debuffer. I would still have some kind of unit that pushes your team forward, like Caesarea or CDOM, just to push your team forward. Like, you could probably run him in a bulkier team, like, let's say you wanted to cleave them with tanks. You could probably run them with, like, FCC. You could probably run them with LRK, Charlotte. It just really depends on how fast your tanks are and what damage they can put out. But with Defense Break and Stigma, if they bring a G-Purg and you have Politis and Rand, that's a dead pick for them. Because Stigma plus Politis means 0 CR push. I've seen it several times. It's actually quite funny when people think that they can still bring G-Purg and cheese their way out of things when they can't anymore, because Politis passive stacks with Stigma. Stigma reduces healing and CR push by 50%. So, like, that is a whole It's a whole dead pick. I know G-Perg was very strong early last season and early this season, but he has definitely fallen out of the meta, in my personal opinion, and I think Ran is here to stay for a little bit until they release another fast unit that can stop him. You know what I mean? Or they release a cleanser that cucks him like AOL. So if AOL could cleanse 2 debuffs, Ran wouldn't be that much of an issue, right? But since AOL only cleanses 1 debuff, he is an issue. And with his Stigma, I think his Stigma is 100%. His defense breaks 85. Yeah, with Grease defense being 85%, there's still some RNG whether or not it lands or even procs. So there's still that 15% you're playing around with, but we all know 15% really means like 100%. And we can all agree that it's very strong. So if I had to rate Rand, I would give him currently a 9 out of 10. With being a very strong enabler for a lot of comps, a very strong disabler for a lot of comps too. Like, I don't have to worry about FCCs. I don't have to worry about any mitigation typically. I can typically ban just like some of their DPS and just deal with their tanks because of defense break and Stigma. So he is very strong into Maids, very strong into Ruels with what's that artifact called that everyone runs on their Soul Weavers? The name escapes me. Water's Origin. It's very strong against Water's Origin. Stigma is anyways. So like having that problem of them pushing themselves to the front after you've hit them a bunch is a lot less now than what it was before. So if you guys were wondering whether or not you should pull Ran or not, I know it's a little late because his banner is probably about to end here soon. Let me see. It's probably ending tonight, actually. Yeah, it's ending tonight. What do you know? It is ending tonight. If you have him and you're wondering if you should build him, my answer to that is if you are cleaving and you want to cleave, Ran is a very strong pick into cleave. Or no, pick for your cleave, not into. And I would definitely highly recommend you building him. If you're watching this video and Rand's not on the banner anymore and we're on the next one, which I think it's the Slime banner, here soon in the new Mystic hero, we're going to see who that is, who I'm ready for. Let's go. 17 summons left. I'm debating if I want a Ravi or if I want this new hero, so we're going to see. I will also be posting a video on that, so check the description of this video. I might have it in this one. I'm not sure yet. But if you already have Ran, I would recommend building him if you are trying to cleave. If you don't want to cleave, you could probably still use him in some PvE content as a debuffer for a defense break, for the S2 for the immunity and things like that. I've heard that people have been using him in Kites 13. I'm not sure how well that would work. Me personally, I would not use him. He's a little too fast. His S2 has a very long cooldown. I think it's like 3 turns. That's not that long, I guess. You could use him, but you would be... I would think that's not... I don't think it's worth using him over, say, like Helga, right? I think Helga is a better option than him because of her effectiveness buff, the 2 defense breaks that you have a chance of landing, the fact that she has the effectiveness buff for the entire team, plus the attack buff, plus she has a CR push now. This is a 4-turn cooldown. I mean, I think Helga is the much better choice, and looks like that I can change this to 55, and this is still just 60. So I mean, 55 and 60% chance with her attacking constantly with her S1, S2. I think Helga is the better option than Ran, who can only S3. Let's see, how often can he S3? He can S3 every 4 turns. So it's I don't know. It's up to you at this point. And if you were going to use some Kites, I would definitely recommend higher effectiveness, maybe less speed, because you don't need him zooming as much. But I don't know. I'll test them out on a Kites team here in the future. I'll make a video on that. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully this was helpful. If you guys did find this helpful, please leave comments in below saying what you found helpful about the video. If you have more questions, leave those in the comments. If you have any kind of feedback, please leave that in the comments. And I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful day. Peace. What is up, everybody? It's your boy Z5. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment to see what you want to see in the next video. I'm always trying to create more content for you guys, so in order to make better content that suits your guys' needs, I just need some feedback from you guys down in the comments below. Thanks, and see you guys in the next video. Peace.